You remember that during the 2022 2C's annual event, Reaching New Heights, 7 matchmaking workshops moderated by guest programs allowed concrete exchanges with 2C's community to see what opportunities could be open to them in the 2021-2027 programming period. We had representatives of all the other Interreg programs operating in the 2C's area, including representatives from Horizon Europe and LIFE. And there we learned that social innovation was an important theme for them as well. So today we wanted to open a new door and see what could be the funding opportunities in another structural fund everyone knows by name, which is the European Social Fund ESF, renamed ESF Plus for the 2021-2027 programming period. Knowing that ESF Plus is a fund with a very wide spectrum impossible to grasp in just a few minutes, we have chosen to put the focus on the ESF Social Innovation Plus initiative, which is new. And I would like to welcome 2 new speakers who will help you to understand the essentials of the Social Innovation Plus initiative, which could be of great interest to you. First, Migle Grosse from DG Employment with the European Commission will give us the essentials to know regarding ESF Plus, helping us to understand where the ESF Social Innovations Plus initiative comes from and what the expectations are at EU level and how it will be managed to reach the beneficiaries on the ground. Migle, thank you in advance for speaking with us, as ESF Plus is a fund with multiple areas of activity and many different ways of managing this. Giving us an understandable global picture of this in just a nutshell is a heroic task indeed. Secondly, we welcome Migle Aleksonyte from the European Social Fund Agency, which is the Lithuanian ESF agency in charge of the implementation of the ESF Social Innovative Plus initiative. Next to launching EU-level calls for proposals supporting the transfer and upscaling of social innovation across the EU, ESFA also organizes transnational exchange and cooperation through knowledge sharing, mutual learning, and capacity building for social innovation stakeholders. We believe that this will be very interesting for you because they are creating a knowledge hub of social innovation, creating and enabling the conditions to transfer and scale up good practices of tested social innovations. Please, Migle, the floor is yours.
Thank you for inviting me to this virtual event today, all about social innovation. This is a great opportunity to share with you what the European Commission is doing to promote and support social innovation within the European Social Fund. My name is Migle Grosse, and this is precisely the topic that I'm responsible for. On my first slide, you can see how we define social innovation within the ESF Plus regulation. Let me highlight the second element marked green. This is about the active participation and ownership of citizens, businesses, academia, and the public sector. We need all of these actors and a strong collaboration to make social innovation work. So why is social innovation so important for the European Commission? Well, for us, it is crucial in dealing with the major societal challenges that we are currently facing. Most recently, this is about the war in the Ukraine, about inflation and the rising cost of living, but it is also about the COVID-19 crisis and the impact it had on our health systems. Looking at the bigger picture, social innovation is about dealing with migration and demographic changes too. And finally, we see a strong link between social innovation and the green and digital transition, 2 main priorities of the European Commission. But let's have a look at the different ways the ESF Plus supports social innovation now. So on my second slide, you can see on the top left side the EASY program, which is the Employment and Social Innovation program. And this is implemented directly by us, by DG Employment. This is about creating new ideas and pilot projects. The same initial phase may also be supported by national and regional ESF Plus programs. After this phase, we have the transnational cooperation in the center of this graph. That is facilitated by our partners from Lithuania, ESFA, and you will have Migle go into more detail after me. Finally, social innovation is about mainstreaming and replicating So what works within one area or one region to transfer this to another area or another region. And this is again supported also by the ESF Plus. Migle will talk about the other tools that we have that are mentioned on the bottom of this slide, the Social Innovation Match database and the National Competence Centers for Social Innovation. I'm very happy to share this with you today, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael, for helping us find our way in ESF Plus and understand more the link between the fund and the Social Innovation Plus initiative. Now I give the floor to Migle Aleksonyte from the European Social Fund Agency, who will explain concretely what are the key activities which could be of interest for the 2Cs community, including what assistance can be offered via the European Competence Center. Please, Migle, floor is yours.
Thank you for the invitation to participate in this event and to present European Competence Center for Social Innovation, which was established thanks to the European Social Fund Plus Social Innovation Plus initiative funded by the European Commission. We're based in Lithuania, in European Social Fund Agency, which for 20 plus years has been administering and implementing ESF projects. And 2 years ago, we were lucky to be selected by the European Commission as an interested entity to set up the European Competence Center for Social Innovation. I am Migle Aleksonyte. I was involved in the development process of the initiative, and now I'm in charge of transnational calls in the European Competence Center. Today, I will have only 10 minutes, so I will have to be brief, but the information and the slides will be available to you just right after the event. So let me begin to present the European Competence Center for Social Innovation. Here you may see our main missions. The Center offers mutual learning, capacity building, and networking activities for European Social Fund Plus bodies, social innovation support structures, and relevant stakeholders. We have communities of practice and networks to implement this mission, which I will discuss later. The Center also announces European-level calls and supports beneficiaries by organizing mutual learning activities, seminars, and other events. Also, the Center has the ambition to develop a knowledge-sharing platform to map the social innovation ecosystem in Europe. The Center will also validate and disseminate social innovation projects and will raise visibility and increase awareness of the value of social innovation. So today, I will emphasize the information which could be the most useful to you. I will talk about the current calls for proposals, which are already announced or in a pipeline. I will present communities of practice and transnational networks where you could take part in. I will very briefly talk about Social Innovation Match database for social innovations to be visible across the European Union and present the expert database that you might want to be engaged to. So the calls. They are usually open for different kinds of entities across EU and member states. In December 2022, the very first call was published to help member states integrate ALMA, Aim, Learn, Master, Achieve initiative into their national programs by piloting or scaling up ALMA-type operations targeting vulnerable youth. In March, we received 34 applications and now grant agreements are being drafted. Although the call seems to be over, the following slides will show you why this information may still be relevant to you. Our currently open call is dedicated for national competence centers for social innovation, for building up and consolidating their capacity. And our two upcoming calls till the end of this year are foreseen for scaling up of social innovations, which have proved successful for the upskilling of vulnerable youth and for mitigation of societal consequences in the war in Ukraine in the EU member states. I will now briefly provide information about each call. Our call promotes the societal empowerment of disadvantaged young people. The aim is to help them integrate into society and to find their way into the job market by combining support for education, vocational training, or employment in their home country with a work-related learning experience in another EU country. Project implementation begins with a startup phase, during which partnerships are built, both national and transnational, and this is the part you might find interesting. This phase has just started in October and will last for 4 months. If you are interested to become a partner in these projects, you can familiarize yourselves with the terms of the call and apply as the context provided, or express your wish to be included into the ALMA Partner Search database. Just for your interest, this slide shows which countries ALMA projects applicants are from. Here, on the right, you may see the link if you wanted to be included into the ALMA Partner Search database. On the left, you can see the support our center provides to those who are planning to implement projects under our calls. This includes info sessions, trainings, mutual learning, and capacity building events, followed by published answers to frequently asked questions, prepared video material, how to fill in the application's budget, how to register to our IT tool for applications. We also try to reduce the administrative burden on applicants and prepare various supporting documents and templates for the calls, provide calculators for budget, help to find transnational partners, etc. This slide presents our current call for national competence centers for social innovation, which aims at building up and consolidating their capacity. The call itself builds on the lessons learned from the previous call by European Commission, published in 2020. Thus, the endorsement is required to participate in this call from ESF plus managing authorities. So it is a little bit restricted call, but for those interested, you can check out the other conditions at the link below, and have in mind that the deadline is till the end of November. Our upcoming call to be announced this October or November is for support of development and/or transfer of social innovations that have proven to be successful in other contexts, countries, or regions for the upskilling of vulnerable youth, especially young people not in employment, education, or training. As the call is not announced yet, I cannot give you many details about it, but it's likely that there will be not many restrictions on applying entities, except for those for experience in a certain field. Almost the same applies to our fourth call to be announced till the end of the year, for promotion of socio-economic integration of the displaced people from Ukraine and to mitigate the societal consequences of the war in the EU member states. Please follow the news on our website to be well informed when those calls are announced. Now I will move to the second biggest part of our activities, knowledge sharing and capacity building, which is mainly done through coordination of 5 communities of practices and 2 transnational networks, the names of which you can see on the slide. Different experts and organizations may participate in those communities and networks according to the subject. Key policy stakeholders, line ministries, national agencies, networks, international organizations, social partners, experts with relevant knowledge, EU representatives, etc. The goal of this kind of knowledge sharing and capacity building is to set up professional infrastructure and transnational exchanges and cooperation to bring together relevant social innovation stakeholders, summarize knowledge, practices, tools, and methods of social innovation, develop methodological materials, studies, guidelines, trainings, and other useful tools for wider dissemination and application of social innovation in various contexts. In the following slides, you may find the thematic areas of communities of practice and networks, and you may kindly decide whether any of them might be useful to you. If you would like to join, gain, or share your experience, on the last slide you will find all the contexts where you can turn for information. Here I would like to briefly introduce you to the Social Innovation Match database. It is the database that aims to promote the transfer and/or scaling up of social innovations across Europe. Social Innovation Match provides an opportunity to showcase successful and inspiring social innovation examples and can be used as a search engine for social innovation stakeholders. If you want to know more about it or register your good example, please follow the link below. And the last piece of my information to you is about the call for expressions of interest for experts possessing different kinds of competences that might be necessary for our center to grow and develop. We are looking for experts with a high level of expertise and professional experience, in particular in the fields or the policy areas set out in the ESF Plus regulation, for example, employment, education, skills, social inclusion, and smart and green transitions across Europe. This call aims to select experts from all over Europe to support the implementation of centers' missions to assist with the assessment of applications, capacity building, mutual learning, networking, and the provision of support to our networks and communities of practice. This is the last slide for your convenience, with all the contacts and links you may need in order to engage in the activities of European Competence Center for Social Innovation. Thank you for the opportunity to showcase the center's activities in your community. I hope you will find the information useful and that we will meet some of you in the near future. Have a good rest of the event.
Thank you very much, Migle. Many thanks to all of our speakers today. We hope that you have discovered through the examples given some of the key achievements of the 2C's social innovation projects, and that we have opened the door for future opportunities in the ESF Social Innovation Plus. Now, it's almost time to end our voyage, but before we finish, I would like to ask some of our speakers if they have some tips and lessons to share before we close the event.
Het grootste probleem binnen ons project was dat het eigenlijk tijdens de COVID-19-pandemie plaatsvond. Hierdoor hadden wij problemen met het uitvoeren van het project. Maar aan de andere kant gaf dit ook weer nieuwe opties. De eerste doel was dat we eigenlijk in groepsverband gingen doen. Dat ging hierdoor niet meer. Daardoor zijn we een individueel pad opgegaan. En zodoende is daar eigenlijk een heel mooi project uitgerold. Een andere tip is sociale organisaties van tevoren samenbrengen in plaats van tijdens. We kwamen eigenlijk tijdens het project erachter dat dit een lastig ding was, omdat dit gewoon niet zo lekker liep. En omdat dit van tevoren meer vast te zetten, kan je eigenlijk het project beter en sneller uitvoeren. Het andere advies wat we kunnen geven is het samenwerken met andere internationale organisaties. Je kan van elkaar andere bedrijven en organisaties leren en zodoende eigenlijk tot een goed eindproduct komen van een project.
Sans doute, nous aurions dû passer plus de temps en amont avec les industriels et les offreurs de solutions pour effectuer un meilleur benchmark des technologies disponibles sur le marché. Le premier point est de communiquer avec ces jeunes sur l'ensemble du dispositif, c'est-à-dire donner du sens au projet et souligner l'importance de leur implication dans ce projet. Ne pas hésiter à dire clairement que ce projet européen est une expérimentation. Comme tout projet, il y aura des aléas à gérer, des ajustements à faire et une direction à tenir. Ils font partie intégrante du projet. Ensuite, il faut s'assurer en amont de la motivation et des capacités cognitives des candidats, ce qu'ont très bien fait nos partenaires sur ce projet. Attention aux problèmes de mobilité des jeunes sans emploi. Il faut également être vigilant sur le fait que c'est un parcours préparatoire qui ne remplace pas les parcours qualifiants, mais qui redémarre l'aptitude d'apprentissage. Un autre des points importants est qu'une fois le processus cognitif redémarré avec des outils innovants, il est possible et même souhaitable de repasser à des modes d'apprentissage traditionnels. C'est la grande leçon du projet BHC 21. Les outils mis en place servent de produits d'appel pour attirer les jeunes vers l'apprentissage et une fois que nous avons donné du sens à la formation, nous pouvons nous passer de ces outils.
Over een aantal zaken heb je natuurlijk weinig tot geen impact, zoals de COVID-19-crisis of projectmedewerkers die een nieuwe uitdaging aangaan. Achteraf bekeken zou het goed zijn om op voorhand meer tijd te besteden aan het doorpraten van een aantal verwachtingen, uitklaren van een aantal algemene begrippen enzovoorts om geen misverstanden te hebben achteraf. Het Orpheus-project liep immers tegen een aantal uitdagingen aan, waaronder het navigeren door verschillende talen, de definiëring van concepten zoals bijvoorbeeld preventie, maar ook de verschillende werkprincipes of lokale beleidsculturen. Het waren allemaal zaken die uitgeklaard moesten worden. Wat voor de een evidenties zijn, zijn dat niet voor de ander. Zulke setting dwingt iedereen ook aan introspectie te doen en van daaruit zo helder mogelijk te communiceren. Er moet zeker voldoende tijd voor uitgetrokken worden om het niet alleen te hebben over wat we gaan doen, maar vooral ook hoe en waarom we het op een bepaalde manier gaan aanpakken.
The advice that I would give to other project applicants is to be aware of the differences in healthcare systems and intercultural difference, and think in advance about how these differences can affect your project. For example, we experienced that in UK, Twitter was a good medium for the multimedia campaign, but not for Belgium, where we used Facebook and Instagram. In France, it was important to involve political actors. In the Netherlands, the multicultural context of the Rotterdam area has to be taken into account, where we organized a face-to-face exhibition. We had the same goal with the multimedia campaign, namely increasing awareness and breaking the taboo about perinatal mental health. But the way to achieve this goal was different among the 4 involved countries. A second advice is to work with different kinds of organizations, experts and observer partners. The diversity and different backgrounds is an added value for your project and was also a strength in our PATH project.
Thank you all. Very important and useful tips to keep in mind. What I see is that all project partners agree to say that the more time you spend in the preparation, the more efficient the project will be. Now it is time to close our voyage. As explained at the very beginning of this voyage, we would love to hear from you. What did you think of these journeys? Would you like to know more about a specific story? Maybe you would like to connect with one of the projects presented today. I once again invite you to fill out the survey and send it back to the Joint Secretariat. We look forward to receiving your reactions and we will make sure to provide you with answers, of course, to your questions in due time. Goodbye, au revoir, tot ziens, and maybe see you again for a new trip in 2024.